Big last question, conscious it's not a small one. Lots of people have asked it. Thank you for your talk. I now understand God is more likely to have shaped our world than not, but why the God of the Bible? Why the Christian God? Why do you choose to believe in the Christian God when there are so many other gods out there? Professor Lennox, would you be prepared to tell us your definition of God? What is God for you?
Well, taking the last one first, we can't get very far with science. You can get the impression of a rational mind behind the universe and a powerful mind. But you see, Christianity does something much more. It's claiming that God became human. The Word became flesh. And so if I want to understand more about God, I realize two things. One, that I was made in his image as a person. And God has revealed himself historically in Jesus Christ, who was human as well as being God. And so my definition of God, and I'm not evading the question, is have a look at Jesus Christ. Read the Gospels. Soak your mind in them. And just begin to realize how simply wonderful he is and what he offers. Now that brings me to the second question. It's a perfectly legitimate question. You see, I was asked to address the question, is it possible to believe in God in a scientific world? My answer to that is yes. But I can answer that without even mentioning Christianity, which I mostly did tonight. But now you're asking me a different question, which I'm more than happy to address, and that is, why Christianity? Well, I have a number of reasons for that. Some of them are objective, and some of them are subjective. You see, coming to the objective, take the three great monotheistic faiths, and I have friends in all of them: Islam, Christianity, Judaism. My Jewish friends believe that Jesus died and did not rise. My Muslim friends believe he didn't die. I believe he died and rose. Those three views cannot be simultaneously correct, factually correct. And my Muslim and Jewish and Christian friends all admit that. So how do you decide? There are certain facts you can decide about. You can investigate the evidence. And one of the most interesting ways to do that at a popular level is to read Lee Strobel's book. What's it called? The Case for Christ? Where he's an atheist, senior reporter who goes around talking to people who are Christians because he wanted to disprove the resurrection. But he became a Christian, and he tells you how. So on the factual side, I think there's a lot that you can do. But then there's another thing, you see. Let's not name any other religions. The first thing I say when I speak to people of other religions is, we must be very clear about this, that as you look at all the religions and philosophies in the world, you'll find in all of them common moral elements. Now that's immensely important. The golden rule, do unto others as you would be done by, is in every philosophy, religion, pagan, humanist, atheist that you can find. And it's very interesting to look them all up. C.S. Lewis did so in a little appendix to his book, The Abolition of Man. So when I start to ask questions about the content of religion, please, ladies and gentlemen, and I mean this very sincerely, I was taught in Ireland by my parents, where it was a divided country between Protestants and Catholics. And my father was bombed. Why? Because he employed both sides equally. And he taught me to respect everyone and to value them no matter what they believed. So that's my starting point. Every man and woman, all of you, whatever you believe, you're made in the image of God and therefore you're of infinite value. That's point number one. But now, where religions differ is on this matter of relationship with God. Because, and now I'm generalizing, generally speaking, a religion offers you a way or a path, and you try to follow that path, And you hope that in the end, when the great assessment comes, and there's usually an assessment of some kind of judgment, that your good deeds will outweigh your bad deeds, and you will be accepted into heaven, nirvana, whatever it happens to be. So that the basic principle is merit. In fact, it's like Imperial College London, university course. And I've taught many university courses, and I like the students. And I'd love to give them degrees, but I can't. It's their merit. And I can't tell them, you're going to get a first. I can help them and teach them. But they know that they won't know what degree they've got until the final assessment. Isn't that right? Now, many people think that that is religion. Indeed, many people think that's Christianity. You try your best, hope that God will be kind to you, and let you in. Well, that's religion. It's not Christianity, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, think about it. I met a girl many years ago, over 50 years now. 60 years, actually, nearly. Wow. And I thought she'd be good to marry her. So what I did was I came along and I said, Sally, I would like you to marry me. And I gave her a present, Mrs. Beaton's Cookery. You know the book? So I said, now, this book is full of laws. There's one set of laws in particular for making apple strudel, which I like. Thou shalt take so much flour, thou shalt take so many sultanas, thou shalt take so many apples, and thou shalt... Now I said, it's going to be like this. If you cook to my satisfaction for the next 40 years or so, and you help me to look after myself in the manner to which I've been accustomed, I'll think about accepting you. Otherwise, you can go back to your mother. What? Why are you laughing? That's the way millions of people think about God. It's exactly that. If I do this, if I do that, if I work, if I accept, then perhaps you'll accept me. You would never insult a fellow human being by treating them like that. Now I'm being strong, but you need to realize it, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know what I fear most? That people reject Christianity without ever having understood this. I remember speaking at the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences, and I explained that using that illustration. And I saw a scientist near the back, and his mouth just fell open. And he came up to me afterwards, and he said to me, are you telling me that Christianity is the exact opposite of what I thought it was? I thought it was me gaining the merit to be accepted, and you're telling me that you can't do that anyway. That Christ died for your sin. Now, this is unique to Christianity. Christ doesn't compete with anybody on this. And he said, look, I died for you. I gave my life for you. If you're prepared to trust me, I can bear the weight of all you've done wrong, and you can know you're accepted right now as you sit in this church tonight. He said, do you mean that? I said, I mean exactly that. Well, he said it was worth coming to Bulgaria just for me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why Christianity is good news. It's speaking to us. I need forgiveness. I'm not perfect. I've made a mess of my life and other people's lives. No amount of piling up merit is going to cancel the past. I need something big enough so that I can stand and look at myself and not be afraid, because there's been a solution found to my guilt. Christianity is the only thing that offers me that. So let me make it clear. Christianity doesn't compete with any other religion, for the simple reason that Jesus Christ offers me something that none of them do. And therefore it's not arrogance to accept from him something that nobody else offers. And you see, it's not arrogant, therefore, for me to sit here and say, I actually know that God has accepted me. I'm not worried about the judgment. I know that one day I will go to spend a magnificent and fascinating eternity with God and with Christ, not because of who I am or the arguments I've mastered, but because Jesus loved me and died for me. That's the heart of it. And that really is why I'm a Christian and not anything else. Thank you very much for being so patient. Good night.
I want to thank all of you for coming this evening. I hope you found it informative, heartwarming, and mind-stretching. John won't be dashing off straight away. He'll be heading off fairly quickly. He's got a plane to catch to the United States tomorrow, so we want to make sure he gets his beauty sleep. But if you'd like to come and have a word, feel free to do that. Thank you for coming. Thank all the helpers for serving us so kindly this evening. And let's finish by thanking John again for giving up an evening to be with us.